What up? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy DeMarcus, and we're back with another episode of the Life of a Multifacet. Make sure you tap in with me on the socials, that man Marco on TikTok and Instagram, matching up with Marco on both as well, and then also the Multifacets of DeMarcus on YouTube. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that, but also show me some love. Pop a question in the comments, give some feedback. Tell me something dope about yourself, something you're looking forward to. Like, make it interactive. Like, I love being able to meet new people and even converse with my friends and family that I already have. Like, just being able to have engaging conversations. Sometimes it can take something like this to think outside of the box of having a different type of conversation. But for today's episode, I wanted to give y'all updates on my garden because I feel like it's been a minute since I've even done some episodes on the gardening, but I don't know if there's probably like a lot that I can talk about as I learn more, but I think in the episodes that I've done here, I've talked about like the process of getting a garden, maybe a bit of like why I enjoy it or things that I've learned early on, but I don't think I've really gave y'all like full updates and times where I started and stopped. Like, let me just give y'all the full rundown. So when it comes to the garden that I'm using, it's hydroponic, not hydroponic, but I'm utilizing the AeroGarden one. So actually, AeroGarden came back, and it looks like they're still operating as a business because I don't know if it was during the summer last year or maybe early in the year when I looked, but for a minute they had stopped production and everything. So I think they were going to go under a whole different entity. Now the one that I have, which is the Farm XL, it looks like that one's no longer in production. And even the style of the way this one looks, I don't know if I've seen where you can get it elsewhere. The other styles, it kind of gives me like an open pot. You know how like when you plant soil and everything in a pot, like it gives me that and just like a small, I would say window or so to protect that. But like mine, it's closed in. Now I will say something that I'm learning that can maybe be better than my current setup, because what I'm learning is that for my particular garden, as the herbs start to grow, as the veggies start to grow, depending on how fast they grow, the size of the veggie, the speed, it can get out of hand. So what I learned is that, or I've seen for some of the other different types of options, it looks as if it's where the leaves and stuff can either go more outwards, go front, back. Like there's more ways in which it can spread out. For mine, it can, but you're limited for where the light can go. But also on those other versions as well, like the light doesn't. I'm gonna have to do some more research, but I wonder if there's a way in which even the lighting and stuff can spread out, because since I've given my first update, currently right now what I have in my garden, I have dill going, thyme. It looks like I have some green peppers, and then I think I had some lemon basil, but I can't remember if I let a couple of those go or not, because I could have sworn I had multiples going at a time. Well, what happened was the dill itself grew at a massive rate, and that was the first time where I like pruned and then started to see a huge quantity of the herb grow out of that same herb that I cut. Because before, when I would prune like the tomatoes, I even did, I think it parsley or something before, it grew, but it never grew at the speed of how the dill is growing. Man, the dill, I'll end up trimming it down and I'll look at it, let's say for a couple of days, and then I may not look at the garden for, let's say, a couple of days. Man, when I come back, that stuff is grown back from where I cut it plus more. Now, I mean, it's not like doing that for each and every like piece that you cut off, but I don't know, like it may just depend on how I cut it, the certain branch that it's on. But I mean, I'll see some of it grow at such a rapid pace, but it could also be because there's many of the stems growing out that I'm not paying attention to some of the other areas. Because when I look now, like some of the parts in which I cut, it didn't really grow back, but around it did. So I don't know, but I'm learning along the way. And what I did earlier, I trimmed a lot of the dill down and really want to remove it because it's growing at such a rapid pace and speed that it's overshadowing all the other plants. So I even know for like the the bell peppers that I have, before when I was doing those, it would grow so massively that I couldn't even have so much around it. But the dill has grown at such a fast pace. It's like the bell peppers on steroids, because the bell peppers are really slow in how they grow. The dill, it's like it's just a single plant, so it does its thing. The bell peppers, they are really growing inside of another plant. So you have your regular plants, your leaves, and then on the branch, there's like another plant that comes outside of that, and that's where the bell pepper starts coming in. But the last time I was able to get some pretty decent sized bell peppers, I only got a few, but I wasn't able to get a lot like I wanted. And that's the thing. So when you think about this garden, I know I've been kind of like sporadic in how I've been speaking about it. The one that I have, the farm, I think it's the Farm 2 XL, it gives you 12 slots. And in each of the slots, you can put a different type of herb. So you have these, you have these cones, and you also have these stickers. So the stickers you put on top of the cones, and it allows you to be able to write on whatever type of herb or veggie it is. Now, inside that, you stick this foam piece, and the foam is a representation of what the soil would be. Like if you were planting a regular tree or plant, like the soil, and then you put your seeds in and you water it. So this is taking place of the soil that you would have. But I don't know how they go in and scientifically do it, but what happens is you got to go and soak the cones in water because it's foam. So when you soak it, it's going to allow the seeds to be able to submerge in, so they're tight within that soil piece. Because you obviously need your seeds to be tightly in the soil, so it can properly grow and get all the nutrients from everything. So usually set the cones for like 10 minutes. You can even do it a little bit faster, but really the water, when you put it into the tank, is going to be able to get into the foam, but it's just a good way to go ahead and get your seeds sealed. But it depends, like sometimes it may be easier to go ahead and put the seeds in and just kind of let the water do its thing, because some of them are so small. Like if you look at the ones for, I think was it thyme? I'm gonna have to check it and come back to y'all. But man, there's one where when I tell you that the seeds are smaller than like a crumb you will find on the ground. I think of the smallest crumb that you'll see. Like the seed is smaller than that. It's to the point to where like you literally have to lay it on your fingers, and you might even have to have like a pencil or even maybe like a small knife where it can just like wipe it in there, or something that I feel like a knife, because it's going to be a bit more sturdy, but where it just wipes it in there because it's that small. And to the point to where you have to have light and be up close to it, because you will think that you have it in there, and then you'll realize after a few weeks that nothing's growing. And you may see sometimes where like it starts to look green on the outside of that cone, and that means that your seed wasn't growing inside of the cone. So if it's green on the outside, that means that your seed was trying to go from the outside, but that's not going to work because the sponge can't submerge it together and do its thing. So these are like small pieces that I'm learning along the way. But you got 12 holes, and depending on your herb is going to let you know how many spaces you want to fill up. Now it takes practice along the way, because I now know that if I'm doing bell peppers and dill, that I may only have to have those two moving at once. Because if I have any other type of herbs, they can grow. Like my thyme is growing. I think it was bay leaves, they were growing a bit, but it got to a point to where it stopped because the bell peppers and the dill was overshadowing not only the light, but it's probably hogging the water as well too. Which the water, it's just, you're just gonna have to fill it up more. But the sunlight the UV light is the main thing, because at the end of the day, like, you got to kind of move something out of the way for it to be able to get more light. You can put more water in it any time. And so I wonder if it's beneficial for me to come back on and I'm going to give y'all another update. So I'm going to go and give y'all like the full rundown of the different types of herbs that I've used, the different settings, how everything else looks. So I think this was kind of like a good, I guess, pre-episode to give you a bit of like the updated piece and things that I'm learning, but I'm going to take y'all a step back. And so we're going to come back and I'm going to give you all like the full rundown of the settings, the AeroGarden that I have, and yeah, we're going to run through that full piece because this is something exciting for me to talk about, but also something I think is fun. Like it's a different multifaceted. It's another hobby, but it's one where like it's cool as hell when you are about to make some food and you can put it in your food, and you're like, man, this is like fresh earth. We won't rock on another episode because I'm getting excited, too excited now, and I know I need to take it step by step. So I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next episode. Shout out to y'all for tuning into the life of a multifacet. You know how we do up in here. Hey.